Adults need to be affirming, but affirm the right things. Many psychological studies have shown if we affirm by praising the child for being smart, the child stops trying as he fears that failure will make him look stupid. But if we affirm his effort, the child will go on to try harder tasks. But notice how often as adults we speak of smart kids, not spunky kids. We must also know when not to interfere. For if we handhold and spoon-feed, we destroy the spirit of inquiry and independent learning. Now, some parents are asking, what should be learned at kindergarten? What should a child entering primary 1 be able to do? Do primary schools stream and rank children according to their abilities? MOE will address the interface between kindergarten and early primary school years in detail when we issue guidelines on the curriculum framework for preschool by the end of the year. Our goal is clear. Help our children build a good, age-appropriate foundation, stimulate their curiosity, and develop their sense of confidence. On streaming in P1, our policy is clear. There should not be streaming or examinations at that stage. The pace of teaching should also be guided by the syllabus and not by how much the children already know. Otherwise, we will have an upward spiral where overteaching in the classrooms results in parents over-preparing their children before P1, which will in turn lead to further overteaching. If there are children who know the material ahead of what is expected, we should let them buddy others so that they can learn to empathize and share. In one school, Punggol Secondary, teachers planned lessons to enable students to put values in action in real-life situations. Students progressed through different levels in situations involving the school, the larger community, the nation, and the world. Sec 4 and 5 students mentor younger students. Because these were real situations with real people and real consequences, students learned how to see from different perspectives and make responsible decisions. MOE is now consolidating the inputs from our schools, and the new CCE curriculum will be implemented from 2014 onwards. We'll announce details of this later. The next phase of our CCE efforts will also include parents, as they are critical partners. We are also reviewing how we allocate resources to schools. Currently, schools are allocated budgets and teachers in proportion to the student enrollment. To help schools better cater to every student, we are studying a needs-based approach to resourcing. First, we'll be looking at allocating more resources to help low-progress students. For students with weaker foundations, more individual attention can help them. We can give these schools the resources to pilot intervention strategies, especially for those who are weak in literacy and numeracy. Second, we will look at allocating more resources for low enrollment schools. These schools do not have the economies of scale, unlike larger schools. Allocating more resources would allow students in these schools to enjoy a wider range of school programs and CCA. Class size is not a silver bullet. It is an oversimplification to think that having smaller class sizes can significantly improve the quality of learning. It is not just about the budget, but the determining factor remains the quality of teachers. There are trade-offs. If we were to expand the teaching force to reduce class sizes, we'll need more teachers and quality will drop. More recently, we had a mother who filed a police report and went to the media, aggrieved that his son's $60 haircut was ruined by the teacher. The simple fact is, the son was reminded over and over again to trim his hair, and when that failed, the school sent a letter. And the mother's response, the child was dyslexic and therefore forgetful. Now, dyslexic people are not necessarily forgetful. As one writer puts it in one of our media commentaries, by raising such as hullabaloo, I quote, the mother did herself and her son no favors. Now, if parents do not show graciousness to others and respect for rules, our young will not do so either. Soon, discipline will be eroded, the tone in our schools will deteriorate, and the tone in our society too. Good people will be deterred from joining teaching. Once the ethos in the school is lost, it is hard to recover. It is already happening in many schools all over the world. Who suffers? Well, our students and future generations of students who just want a good education. So we must take a firm stand against unreasonable demands. And it seems to me that the sources of stress are multiple. For some, it is excessive homework and CCAs. For others, it is extra assessment books, tuition and enrichment classes. Our bookshops are quite unique. Walk into any of our bookshops and you see that one of the largest sections are assessment books. Actually, I should add that when I look at bookshops in China, Hong Kong, and Taiwan, it's also the same. Now, for many, it is expectation and ambition to do one's best, especially at high-stakes examinations. And comparison with others is often a source of stress. One student told me that first, her parents asked her, why didn't she get into a top school like her cousin? Then, when she got 80 marks for a test, her parents asked her why her cousin in a better school got 85. So she worked very hard. And then when she got 85, her parents said, but girl, your cousin now got 90. So the poor girl said she felt she had done her best, but it was never good enough. Well, now any society which prizes achievements will run into these issues. And I'm not just talking about even Asia. It is a global phenomenon. Our education system must have sufficient rigor and strength. It must not become soft. The issue for us is not to reduce stress to zero. A certain amount of stress is needed. A certain right amount of tension is needed. The key is to strike the right balance. There are no easy solutions. But MOE must reflect on what we can do and do our best.